Navin Lalu Streaming Network for live streaming of any event featuring multiple camera angles, clean audio, video and photo slides. For information, call 335-0205. Navin Lalu Streaming Network, bringing real-time events to you.
Wait till she call me for help.
Sound check. A pleasant good morning. Can I just get your attention for a brief moment? Okay, so we are waiting the arrival of the pundit who will be officiating this morning. Persons wishing to view the body, please do so now. We are working with a very tight schedule. Persons who wishing to view the body, you can do so now. Soon as Pandit Anand gets here, we're going to go straight into the ceremony for today. Thanks.
कहाँ से इन होठों पे आए, दूर कहीं ले जाए। भूल गया क्या भूल के भी है मुझको याद जरा सा, फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा। बात पुरानी है, एक कहानी है, अब सोचूं
Good morning again. Persons who have other friends or relatives who are viewing the live stream, due to the internet connection, we had to switch to a new link. It was posted in the comments section in the old link, and we have been sharing it around. So if you need to get the new link, please let us know. But we've been sharing it. It is on the old posting in the comments section. The link is there. So we're going to give just about 3 minutes again, and then we will proceed. Thanks.
फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा। बरसों बीत गए हमको मिले बिछड़े, बिजुरी बनकर गगन पे चमकी, बीते समय की रेखा मन संग आँख मिचौली खेले, आशा और निराशा, फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा। मेरे नैना सावन भादो, फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा, फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा, फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा। मेरे नैना सावन भादो, फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा, फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा। मेरे नैना सावन भादो, फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा, फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा। खेल है क्या जाने, दर्द भरा ये गीत कहाँ से इन होठों पे आए, दूर कहीं ले जाए, भूल गया क्या भूल के भी है मुझको याद जरा सा, फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा। बात पुरानी है, एक कहानी है, अब सोचूं तुम्हें याद नहीं है, अब सोचूं नहीं भूले वो सावन के झूले, रुत आए रुत जाए देखकर झूठा एक दिलासा।
Okay, pleasant good morning again. If we can just settle down so we can start the proceedings this morning. Okay, Sitaram, Assalamu alaikum, good morning to everyone. My name is Mukesh Radhe. I am the brother-in-law of Bali, brother of Sandra, uncle to Roshni, Anna, Dana, and by extension all the additions. On behalf of my sister Sandra and her family, she would like to thank you all for coming here this morning to show your support and love in honor of our beloved Balliram Samuel Ramlakhan, who graduated from this life on Saturday, September 3rd, 2022 at 8:10 a.m. Sitaram to Pandit Anand Sharma, who would be officiating and conducting the rituals today. Paying a special recognition to the family and relatives of Balliram who flew in from different parts of the world to be here this morning. And a special good morning to persons who are joining us via the live stream. Feel free to post a comment for the family, as we know you have been pouring your love and support over the last week. It's good to have you all here. One quick house announcement, you will see signs up. It's just for everybody's safety. We are asking persons in most cases, please keep your mask on. At this time, we would like to turn right over to Pandit Anand Sharma, who will conduct the official rituals for this proceedings here today. Pandit Anand.
Ram Ram Satya hai, say Satya Gatya hai, karo chahiye, everybody will stand. Hi, welcome. And face, line up here, face south. Let us all join our hands together. Let us focus in the name of Bhagwan Sri Krishna. As Dharmanam Pitra, Lord Krishna Bhagwan, Ki Data Ekaram Bhikai Sari Dunya. God is the giver and God is the taker. Everything upon this earth, it belongs to the Almighty God Bhagwan Sri Krishna. So let us all join in prayer. Hari Om Sri Krishnaye Kamalapati Yarupati Sitapati Vaikunpati Pahi Mam Sharanagata Vaksavaxalam Om Vasudevam Sutam Devam Kansacharudamordanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah Om Swasti na Indro Priyasva Swasti na Pusha Vishwadeva Swasti na Stacho Garishtanemi Swasti no Brihaspati Garatu Hari Om Tat Sat Om Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Jasaka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Ram Ram Satya. One by one, go on rest by the foot. Yahari Sindhu. Bring it. Bring it. By Jaya, everybody will be seated. This moment. My friends, devotees, at this moment, I would like each and every one of you to stand and turn to the next direction. That way, Didi is going to perform a short ritual and no one should not allow to see. So let's stand for 1 minute, turn to the other direction. Turn so while it dances. Take this. Just sit in the hand, right hand.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Hey.
Okay. You can take a seat now. Thank you. My friends, devotees, in our midst, my Pandit Vadaye. He is no stranger to most of us, and I shall call upon him while I perform the ceremony to say a few words and
Umapati Mahadeva ki jai. Officiating Pandit Anand Sharma ji, members of the bereaved family, devotees of God. Dhanya ho hum. Dhanya ho. Blessed are we, my friends, that we have this opportunity to perform the last rites for a very great soul. The glories of Uncle Bali as he was known to me, my friends, all of us know. This is why we're here this morning. So at this point in time, as requested by Panditji, I'd ask hum Hajar Vindi Pratna Karta ho. We all clasp our hands, close our eyes, as we recite a few verses from the Rig Veda and the Yajur Veda. We will sit upright, take a deep breath in and let it out. Focus the Chitta, the Atmanam, focus on that inner energy as we pray for our own souls as well as the departed. Om Dhyanam. From the Krishna Yajurveda. Apathalana bhastalana bhuna brahmandama vispodatha jyotihi sphatikaligamali vilasat purnendrantamutaihe astu kaptame kamisha manisham murdunuva kanjanapan dhyadipsita sadyate draparam vipravishancha chivam brahmanda vyaptireha bhasmarucha bhasamana bhujam gaihi kanthe kalakapradakilita shaskalaschandako dandahastah Trayaksha Rudraksha Malapriyar Shambhuamurti Bhera Rudra Suri Rudra Sukta Prana Priya Chantu Saukyam Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya Namaste Rudramanyo Tatate Shave Namaha Namaste Astu Dhanvane Baho Vyautate Namaha Yati Shushivattama Shivam Babhovate Dhanaho Shiva Sharavyaya Tavataya No Rudramade Yate Rudra Shivatanora Ghora Papakashane Dayanastanu Shantamaya Girishanta Vichakashe Yamishum Girishanta Haste Vivarshastave Shivam Girtutam Kuruma Himsehe Purusham Jagare Shivena Vachasatva Girisharavadamase Yarami Sarv Jagare Kshamana Sumana Asat Adya Vochari Vakta Prathamo Devyo Bhishake Ahigascha Sarvas Jambhayan Sarvascha Yatu Dhanyah Sauyastamru Aruta Babru Sumangalaha Ye Chema Gum Rudra Bhito Dikshu Sritha Sahasrasho Vaishagum Heri Mahe Asauyo Vasaspate Nila Grivo Vilohita Utainam Gopa Arushanna Dushandaharya Utainam Vishwabhutani Sadrishtumratinaha Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishweshwaraya Mahadevaya Trayambakaya Tripurantakaya Trikagni Kalaya Kalagni Rudraya Neelakanthaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Shriman Mahadevaya Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya Vishname Mrityorme Pahi Prananam Granthirate Mrityave Swaha Mrityave Swaha Hiranyavarnam haranim Suvarna rajatastrajam Chandram hiranmayim lakshmim Jata vedo maavaha Tam avaha jata vedo lakshmi manabhagamine Yasyam hiranyam vindheyam gamashvam purusham yaham Ashvapurvarthamadhya Hastinara prabodhini Shriyam upahay shriye Shrirmam devi jushatam Kamsosmitam hiranya prakaram Adram Jwalantim Triptam Tarpayantim Padme Sita Padmavarna Tamihopahay Shriyam Mahalakshmischa Vidmahe Vishnupatnescha Dhemahe तन्नः लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात्. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Devotees of God, at these times, there are three questions that are apparent, latent, and pronounced at every funeral, at every junction in life. मैं कौन हूँ, मैं कहाँ से आता हूँ, और मैं कहाँ जा रहूँगा? Who really am I? From where have I come? And where am I going? Mano buddhi ahamkar chitani naham. Neither am I the mind, neither am I the body. I am the Chidananda, the embodiment of consciousness and bliss. I am Shiva. This is from the Nirvana Suktam. For us, my friends, we are the Atman, the soul. Where have we come from? From Paramatman, from God. Whatever name, form or fashion you decide that you want to call God, God really doesn't care. And of course, in the end, we all go back to Bhagwan. There are 16 samskaras, or 16 major rituals that an individual performs throughout his or her lifetime. However, the final rite, he or she cannot perform for themselves. This, the Antishti samskara, the funeral of that person, the offering of the pindas, etc., that is done by the relatives and friends who would have remained behind. Uncle Bali is indeed a great and blessed soul, because devotees of God, so many of you are here, and the rites and rituals are being performed for him on his behalf. When your turn comes, my friends, ek din hame bhi jana hai. One day to come, we will all go. What will be your situation at that point? Will you be as blessed? Because you know, today they're performing Visarjan of Ganapati Baba. Devotees of God, today we perform Visarjan, the farewell ceremony to Uncle Bali. On a very auspicious day, a great soul indeed he was. And I'm sure throughout the other nights to come, we shall hear a little more about this. Devotees of God, indeed, you are blessed. He is blessed. So at this point in time, my friends, I'd like to thank each and every one of you on behalf of Auntie Sandra or family. To yours, thank you for coming and showing support to the family in this time of need. Vasudhaiva Kutumbhakam. The entire universe is but one family. Om Tat Sat.
That was Panditji, no stranger to us. And now party. All who you want.
The top?
The top.
Okay.
All.
Okay, I have this on here.
Vertical.
You can log me on.
Now I shall hand you on to my brother Mukesh.
Good morning again. That is never easy, and the pain is always equal, regardless of race, regardless of gender. But one thing is inevitable. We would all have to cross that path someday. Bali being my brother-in-law is just about the best thing anybody can ask for. After a while, the term brother-in-law just disappeared. He just meant family, meant everything. Friends and the simplicities in life is the things that he loved. At this time, we're going to call on one of his dear friends for many, many, many years, Mr. Ganesh Sahadev, who will say a few words on behalf of the deceased.
Sitaram. Sitaram, ladies and gentlemen. First, I'd like to thank everyone for being here to help Bali's family. Yeah. Sorry about that. First, I'd like to thank everyone for being here to help Bali's family and friends celebrate his life. Balliram Samuel Ramlakhan lived his life. He helped friends, family, and strangers alike. He was one of the most generous persons I know, giving both of himself and of his wealth. He was responsible for the construction and operation of the temple right here in Bamboo Grove number 2, the Sumati Sabha Shiv Mandir. And there are many members here today which I would like to acknowledge. Also, his wife Sandra is a very integral part of that temple. And 3 years ago, when Bali celebrated his 70th birthday, he held a 3-night Ramayana Yajna right here at this location. So he was very involved in his religion. He was a passionate cricket fan and a cricketer. And he traveled to many of the islands, Grenada, St. Vincent, Antigua, Guyana, many islands across to support his favorite team. And also, I think more than that, it might be because it was a good line for Bali. Bali was a person who loved people, he loved his friends, he liked the line. Bali was a family man. He is married for over 40 years now to Sandra, his one and only. And he has 3 lovely daughters. Roshni, I fondly know, the second one is Shiny, and Dana. He also has 4 grandchildren. He was a great provider, and as you can see right here, they supported him all the way. Even in these times of COVID, when people were a little bit scared to come out and be amongst many people, every night for the last 6 nights, we saw many of Bali's friends, family here every night. It tells us the type of person Bali was, and he was admired and loved by so many people. Why am I standing here? You know, those of you who know me better would know that I'd prefer to sit in the audience and listen to other people talking. But I had to put aside my idiosyncrasies today and talk a bit about my best friend. Yes, my best friend, Bali. I met Bali in 1975 when I joined the firm of auditors and accountants in Port of Spain, Panel Fitzpatrick, which is now Ernst & Young, an accounting firm. At the onset, Bali, having joined about a year before me, embraced me in his usual style. And at that time, we all know that these type of firms, the composition of these type of firms left people like Bali and myself feeling very unwelcome. Bali was partly responsible for my success. He was an anchor and support. Our bond grew, and in 1979, we both decided to go to London to complete our accounting exam. If I had more time, I know time is limited today because we have to go to the bank and we have a schedule to operate with. If I had more time, I would tell you about our flight to the UK and the first day, and you would be laughing your heads off. But probably I should keep a few secrets. During that time in London, Bali was the boss. He cooked because I couldn't cook, and we shared the work as teamwork, and I cleaned the room, but we had a small room and also did the laundry. So we stayed in the same apartment for just under a year while we studied in London. When we returned to Trinidad, we continued to work at the firm, and he went back to Panel Fitzpatrick, and I went to Price Waterhouse, another accounting firm, but we kept in touch with each other, talking to each other almost every day. I consulted with Bali on many occasions on many accounting and taxation matters, as he was always a step ahead. Bali shared his knowledge freely, and the most it would have cost me was maybe a drink or two. We both got married and our families became very close. One year I remember very clearly that we decided to take our families on holidays in Canada, but we couldn't afford to pay for all those members of the family to go to Canada. So we decided to fly to the closest spot, which is Florida. We flew to Florida with our families and we rented cars. He rented a car, I rented a car, and we drove from Florida to Canada. And it took us about 2 to 3 days to drive going up, and every evening we would stop in a hotel and so on, and we would sit down and chat and so on. It was such a lovely time. And we drove back from Canada to New York. We went by his sister in New York. I remember we spent one night there. And then we drove back to Florida. That was a tremendous time we spent together. Bali and I celebrate our birthdays just 1 month apart. He is in July and I am in August. And every year we would have, as a ritual, we would have lunch together for both our birthdays, and we would talk and chat about our time together and what we would plan, what we would do in the years ahead. And Bali was always planning ahead. Friends and family, as sad as today is, once you remember Bali, it is difficult to remain sad because you would always remember the many good laughs we had with him. Maybe we can learn from his life of happiness. The ancient Greek philosopher Epictetus said, "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will." Bali literally lived this quote. In closing, I would like to say again, I was truly fortunate to have Bali not just as a friend, but as my very best friend. He was always there for me and shared great memories. May Shri Krishna keep his soul. Shri Krishna Sharanam. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sahadev. All right, so we press for time, so we'll be running very quickly. For Bali, family was everything. A trip to his house was always like a reunion and a lime. And I have had a lot of interaction with our next speaker, his brother, Andrew. And it is indeed memorable when they get together. So I know it is an emotional time for him. I would like to call upon Andrew Ramlakhan, his brother, who will say a few words on his behalf.
Sitaram. Our relationship is very unique. Unique in the sense that I thought I was the eldest grandchild for my grandparents. It was for a period of time, a short period of time, until I met him. We met each other. And I said, "Bro, you are the eldest brother, no, you are the eldest grandson. You are the top of everybody." When we met, we exchanged first of writing letters, we get to know each other. We were introduced to each other's families, and I was known to everybody, and everybody got to realize that he has other brothers and sisters. It's a very unique thing, but we always consider him as our eldest. We build a bond and relationship like no other. We enjoy each other's companies for many years, about 60 years. I've never had a dispute with him. We respected each other and until this day. And in my heart, that will continue. To talk about 60 years of our lives, I'll make it short. Bro, I love you. Will always. I will always remember you. Rest in peace, eternally, bro. Someday we will meet again.
Well, thank you very much, Uncle Andrew. Very, very dear to Bali. At this time, we're going to call on another relative, Ms. Vishmati Rukchand, to say a few words on behalf of the beloved. Thank you. Right here. Make yourself comfortable.
Sitaram, everyone. Sitaram to the Panditris, all the elders in the audience. A very pleasant good morning. Namaste. Assalamu alaikum. Morning is a wonderful blessing, either cloudy or sunny. It stands for hope, giving us another chance to start another life. And as we all gather here, as we all gather to say farewell to our loved one, we share in the loss, in the memory of our beloved brother. As we acknowledge and share both our joys and the gift that his life was to us, and also in the pain that his passing brings. You see with me here, my dear sisters, two sisters and his sister as well. We all grew up as one big family, and the passing of Balliram, our dear brother, is a great loss to us. As we gather to say farewell to our loved one, we say thank you, Lord, for the blessing of seeing another new day. As I said, many people went to bed last night and did not wake up this morning, as we did. So, like Balliram, they too have gone to the great beyond, and they are no longer with us. It's a sad day for everyone who is connected in some way or the other to this family, especially to the family members, the wife and the children, our dear ones, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, everyone. It is sad because we will no longer see him around us in the physical form when the family and friends get together and meet to greet each other. We will surely miss him, but we will also remember and come to the reality of the situation and remind ourselves that everything has an expiry date, and this body too has an expiry date. It is said that everything that is born must die one day. That is certain for that which is born. Knowing this, we must not grieve over that which we know must leave us. Yes, we are human beings with thoughts and emotions of a loving, caring nature. We feel the pain and the sorrow at the death of a loved one, but we must not let this sorrow overtake us. Instead, we must reflect on the memories, the experiences that we shared. My dear, loving, and caring brother, Balliram Samuel Ramlakhan, Ramchatan, at one time, was born at Choru, in an area in Prisal village, Kuva, at the home of his maternal grandparents, the Ramchatan family. There he spent most of his formative years, or his early childhood, under the strict supervision and stern discipline of uncles Bikram, Kumkaran, Wesley, and Ramnihur, who was very lovingly called Bullet. He was lovingly cared for under the motherly tenderness of his mother and the watchful eyes of my mother, together with two other aunts, whom he grew up with. So the uncles, they were very firm above their gentleness, and they were very gentle under their firmness as well. He attended the Prisal Government School. He spent his early years of his life very close to family and friends. The extended family was the order of the day. Hard work and sacrifice, intermingled with leisure time and relaxation with caring for crops and animals, was part of his daily life. As the speaker said before, he learned to cook. He was a great family man, and growing up with him as an elder brother was easy. He displayed the qualities of caring and sharing, always encouraging you to be the best you could be. At an early age, he lived a life of service and devotion to family life. So there's where it all started. His early years at Presal. Yes, there were disagreements, but there was always love and togetherness, unity and friendliness, and a great sense of wanting to achieve success and to move on to the highest step of the ladder, and that which he did. He made his mark in the working world, and not with grand gestures, but with the basic goodness and generosity of his character, as the speaker said before, by the quality of his involvement with his fellow men. He will be lovingly remembered as a wonderful brother, a great friend, a generous uncle, cousin, outdoors man, which everybody knew him as recently. A friendly face in the town, or in the yard, or in the yard of his house, or by the side of the road. He made our lives richer and fuller by his efforts and assistance and encouragement over the years. He was a rock on which the family was built, admired and loved by all his cousins, siblings, friends, neighbors. In his advancing years, he became a strong support for family relations. He lived for family. He was a family man, full of joy, merriment, happiness, visiting relatives and friends all over the country. Sangre Grande, Mayaro, Claxton Bay, Hoover, Presal, Freeport, or whatever place you think of, he was there. These qualities and his characteristic traits were embedded in him through his early childhood years that he spent growing up in the village of Presal with his family, the Ramchattan family, and in the loving and nurturing care of his extended family. On behalf of all family relations on his mother's side, the Ramdins of Presal, the Ramchattans, the Ramesa of Freeport, the Gayadines of La Romaine and Williamsville, and all his sisters and brothers, not forgetting nieces and nephews abroad. We all want to send him a fond farewell, my dear, loving, and caring brother. We pray that the Lord Krishna will receive him with open arms, taking him across the ocean of this mundane existence into blissfulness and peace and in the hereafter. And I will end here by saying, Sitaram to all, thank you. One little chant, one little line. From this blessed home this day you are leaving. We will miss your bright eyes and sweet smiles. For this day you are taking the sunshine that has brightened the pathway a while. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna.
Respect to the temple, I would have to say, from a kutia to a modern day mandir. That's what it was. So let me take you back about 50 years ago. A very young and ambitious man was chairing a meeting in the kutia. His goal was to build a mandir. The discussions were centered around fundraising events. He had an executive with him, and he had the members of the Hindu community backing him and supporting him. He was very young at that time. I think he was in his 20s at that time, probably. I was probably in my teens. Year after year, there would be fundraising events, such as bazaar shows, classical singing, etc. And I see a lot of people here who had taken part in those events. Every year, he would host a yag, and all the money collected from the arati was donated to the temple building fund. The pundits also who officiated did not take a cent from us. It was done free of charge. All those were contributed towards the construction of the temple. All through these years, Bali played an important role in the construction of the mandir. He stayed with us there, he toiled, he worked very hard. He was very passionate. It was his goal to see that we had a mandir in this area. Eventually, that day came, and I remember Mr. Charles, Mr. Henry Charles, pulling lines, putting down the pickets, and he said, you guys can start digging holes. And that was the beginning of what we now call the Bamboo No. 2 Sumati Sabha Sheaf Mandir. After the mandir was completed, he had approached the Self-Help Commission, and he was successful in obtaining additional materials for the temple and the construction of the annex to the temple. It was his goal, it was his dream come true. He and the entire community continued to carry on all the religious activities at the mandir. If I had to describe Bali's life in one word, it would be complete. Bali lived a complete life. He served his community well, he served his family well, he served friends, neighbors, well-wishers, even strangers. He treated them very well. So, in paying tribute to him, may Lord Krishna embrace him. May he receive that blessings. May his soul rest in peace. May he receive eternal peace and blessings. Sitaram, thank you.
Thank you, Honorary. This time we would like to call on another relative, Mr. Ramesh Sananan, who flew into the country. I would like to invite him to come and say a few words.
Thank you, Mukesh, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Sandra, for giving me a few moments, for giving me 1 hour to pay tribute to Bali. You know, I've known Bali my entire life. And Bali, for those of you who don't know, is his parents were my Aji and Aja. So Bali, we are relatives. We are friends. We have that relationship has evolved into more of a friendship than family. Bali and I, you know, go way back. You know, the previous speakers made mention of so many things that I have been involved with Bali. Mukesh said that, you know, I flew in from abroad for this funeral, but I always refer to myself as being a bamboo boy. I'm proud of being from this village. This is the only village I know. I have lived many places in the world, but this is my home. Whenever I come to this country, this is where I stay. This is where I spend my time. This is where I visit my friends and relatives. And 2 months ago, Bali and Sandra and I sat right there on Saturday morning, you know, chatting for 3 hours, talking about the good old days. And there's so much to talk about the good old days, you know. Ganesh can't remember me, but if you can recall our good old days of Sunday morning cricket at Val Park, Car Park. Right. And Roy spoke about the Sumati Sabha. When we started the Sumati Sabha, Bali was the president, I was the secretary of the Sumati Sabha. And that was in the late 60s. And so we have been through a long journey. Cricket, as Anroy talked about, Bali was our first captain. When Bali gave up the captaincy, he gave it to me. You know, one of the things I'm most proud about in my relationship with Bali is that in all my 69 years of knowing him, we have never once exchanged a harsh word. I've seen all our friends, you know, fight and bicker and stop talking to each other. Not once in my entire life have I ever, or he has ever exchanged a harsh word with each other. And that's my greatest memory of him. I find that so important to, in a relationship that, you know, and as we get older, this one don't talk to that one is vexed with that one. And I speak to all my boyhood friends from the village, why are you living this life? It's, today we are here, tomorrow we are gone. And everybody expects perfection in each other. And we fail to examine ourselves to see our own faults. So I am proud about, I think Bali and I fell out once. Ganesh talked about cricket, Anand talked about cricket. And we fell out on the cricket field because Bali was the captain. And when I reflect on those days in the early 1970s of our cricketing days, I say, wait a minute, when I look at cricket now, I say Bali was a visionary because our falling out on the cricket field was Bali used to take the brand new cricket ball. He was an off-break bowler. I used to be the opening bowler. I bowl medium pace. And he would take the brand new ball and rub it in the grass and start bowling spin. And I'm like, what are you doing? Now, in T20 cricket, that's the norm. So what he was doing, 50 years ago, it's now the norm. So I used to argue with him, why aren't you giving me the ball? But, he has I guess he was a visionary and he had his own way of seeing things. But I want to say to his family, Bali and I go a long, long way, and my relationship with his family will continue. I will always be here to visit and offer my support. And I want you all to stay strong in this time of difficulty. And to my dear friend and relative, I want to say, sleep well, my friend. May your journey continues, and may you find everlasting peace in your life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sinanan. At this time, I would like to just take a brief moment to acknowledge Mr. Chankar Sitaram, who is in our midst somewhere, who has been very, very instrumental in a major aspect of Balliram's life. Pleasant good morning to you, Mr. Sitaram. Nice to have you with us this morning. Okay. Another acknowledgement. Now, those of you all who don't know Bali, you didn't want to get into a political debate with him because he read every single newspaper, looked at every clipping, and had the most appropriate answer for you, regardless of whatever party you belong to. He and I had a lot of those debates, so I can attest to that. And in doing so, I would just like to extend to the family, MP for St. Augustine constituency, Khadija Amin. She expressed her sorrow in not being able to attend this morning due to quarantine. And yes, she did tell me I can say that she's in quarantine. So she expressed condolences to the family and apologized for not being able to attend this morning. So I know we press for time, but I guess almost every person sitting here this morning would like to say something, all right? Unfortunately, it cannot happen. At this time, I'm going to call on Mr. Chowti, a very good friend of Bali, to say some brief words on his behalf.
Thank you very much, Master Sarpanch. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Sitaram, especially to Sandra and the children, and by extension, the Ramlakhan family. I am here. My name is Premnath Chowti. I am from Bamboo One. And I am here to give you a little bit of the history between Bali and his life in Bamboo 2. Bamboo 1 and 2 originated in 1949 when people were relocated from Biokal and Wana village to settle in these two villages. And the most important thing in those days was the camaraderie between the people. Everybody knew each other. Everybody knew each other from both villages. So that was the camaraderie that we shared, and the children, like me and Bali, we shared that same camaraderie. We knew each other. We may not know the children and the grandchildren, but we knew each other. And the second one I want to speak about is the rivalry. There was a great rivalry between Bamboo 1 and 2 in cricket and football. Bali was a cricketer, but the rest of the Ramlakhan family were very good footballers. And we shared that rivalry in a very nice, very loving way. After we finished play, whoever win, doesn't matter. We still had that camaraderie between each other. I also would like to extend the condolences from his fishing friends of Valsain, which is David and Ephraim, Baal, I don't know, I didn't see Baal, and Richie. Richie had the boat, right, Sandra? So we all grew up together. I remember a lady saying that he went to a Presal Government School, but he also went to Bamboo Grove Presbyterian School, which we shared. Bali was just about a couple of years older than I am, so we still shared that bond with each other. I heard the master ceremonies talking about the politics. We shared many discussions with the politics, what is right, what is wrong. We shared our differences, but we remain friends. And to Sandra and the 3 children, the grandchildren, they used to visit our home. Sandra, unfortunately, my mother cannot be here. Sunday she was 90 years old. And please free, after you all have finished your morning, feel free to continue to come and visit her. I also shared that great bond with Sandra because Sandra's father and I were friends for over 30 years, Samson Rade. I am a follower of classical singing for over 35 years now. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my association with Bali and this family, the entire Ramlakhan family, and many more people in Bamboo. So today, accept our condolences. I know it's going to be a little bit tough for you, Sandra, especially, and the 3 children, which you cherish so much. But there's a time which I said for my mother's funeral, God took him at the appointed time. That is what we believe in. God took him at the appointed time. And the consolation that I want to share with Sandra and the children and the grandchildren is that anywhere you go in Trinidad, you will hear somebody talk something good about Bali. And that is the consolation that you must keep in your heart, that you will say something good about him. I don't think there will be anybody who will say anything bad about him. And the third thing that I want to say, Bali has helped a lot of business people in this country because of his profession. But Bali never allowed any businessman to encourage him to do anything illegal in his profession. He will assist you, he will show you what is right, what is wrong, how you could do this, how you could do that. But if you tell him that I want you to do so and so that is illegal, he will tell you, look, I done with you. And he gone. So he has gone with his integrity intact. He has gone with a legacy that Bali has left, not only in Bamboo 1 and 2, but all over this country. So with these few words, Bali, rest in peace, and thank you very much, Sandra, for allowing me the few minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chowdhury. Okay, at this time, I am going to call on a few of the family members. And one of the things that we can attribute to Bali and his success and his remembrance is his honesty, his dedication, and his love for people. And I heard someone said it earlier on, and everything and all the blessings that he got is mainly due to that individual that we are seeing there. And this is truly reflected in his children and likewise his grandchildren. So at this time, I'm going to call on Roshni, Reshan, and Cherry. I can't even remember her real name now. And that would be followed by the eulogy, which will be read by his youngest daughter, Dana. Yeah?
Sitaram, my name is Roshan Balliram Hussain, the grandson of the late Balliram Ramlakhan, my papa. Today we are here to celebrate his life. Papa was the best. Papa and I would often have lots of fights, but we loved each other. I miss and love you, Papa. Thank you for everything, especially my face. I am you.
Sitaram everyone. My papa liked to eat nuts and walk in the hammock. He used to harass us when we are playing, but he loved us. I will miss him a lot.
Pleasant good day, everyone. These were his two grandchildren. Now the eldest said she doesn't think she can say a few words. So these two, the braver ones, decided that, you know what, they're going to say a line of two, and we're very proud of them. You know, we can see a bit of him in them because they have the bravery and they love to talk. So we can see that something goes on. And like I call him my second son, my first son. Yes, as he says, he has the face. So, you know, we have a young Bali in the midst of us, so we have to brace ourselves. I just want to say a few words to everyone. Pleasant good day, Sitaram, namaste to all. Dad was a humble, well-respected, and successful man known to many. Today I want to talk a bit not only Dad, but Mom as well. We all know the famous saying, behind every successful man is a strong woman who is always supporting him. And Mom is one who never faltered. She may not have agreed with all his decisions, but she supported him nonetheless. And when we talk about opposites attract, I think Mom and Dad are the perfect example. He was the life of the party, the man in the middle, in the midst of everything. Yet her priority was religion and culture. We grew up celebrating every festival in Trinidad, both religious and non-religious. But most importantly, we did it all together as a family. Little did we know that these simple things would be our roots and foundation to the empire that we have today. Our motto taught at home, taught to us by Mom and Dad, which we now teach to our kids as well, is regardless of where life takes you and who you may become, always remember two things. Never forget where you come from, and always try to help others along the way. And I think everybody could attest to that because Dad was a man who never said no to anyone. You would always come to him regardless of where he was, what he may be doing. He would always assist the best that he can. And Mom, you have supported Dad from day one to his last. But we are here to support you all the way. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Sitaram, everyone. They say I am the one that I'll come here and I will put on a face, but today it's not a face. I have the face just like my son has. Balliram Samuel Ramlakhan. He was born on July 24, 1949. He resided in Prisal and Bamboo while growing up. Diabetes soon after marriage, and the latter at Bamboo number 2. He attended Prisal Government and Bamboo Grove Presbyterian, and then on to St. George's College. He furthered his education for some time in England, and on his return, his career of being an accountant unfolded. He was also a fisherman in between, for his love of his hobby was so great. I always said he was an accountant during the week and a fisherman on a Saturday. Somewhere in finding his career, he found his love, my mother. And with this, he began his journey on being a husband and the only father one can ask for. They have 3 children, my sisters and myself, 4 grandchildren, 2 son-in-laws, and 1 is still pending. He lived a full life. He was loved in the eyes of many and envied by some. He was selfless in his actions, especially in helping others. There isn't anyone who truly knows him that can say different. As a child, as his child, I reap that benefit of saying to someone that I am the daughter of Balliram Ramlakhan, or in my village as Belin's daughter. Sometimes they might say I'm Belin's Bajan daughter too. Some would also say he was a limer, the life of the party. I would not beg to differ. Indeed, he was the man to ensure that anyone would enjoy themselves. He was infamously known at funerals and weddings to have his trunk open, and all were welcome. We taking your trunk today, Dad, but we'll have water and chubby. He was the glue that held his immediate and extended family together. Most know of him, others know him, but his struggles were unknown to many. I am a proud product of his legacy, my sisters and our children too. I take offense when those of the opinion that he was just a limer. I would not change it. He earned his right to enjoy all his life had to offer. My father worked hard from day one to make it today, and boy did he. With his will and my mother's unending support, they have achieved it all. His motto was, your education is the key to life. It is your house. You must have a solid foundation. People can tarnish your character, but they can never take away your education. And the ever so famous sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. In that breath, he would remind us to gather the strength that people will be jealous of even your name. But stand tall and do unto others as you would like to be done unto you. These lines and the stories of tying the cow before going to school, having no slippers to wear to school, coming home to look after the garden, and taking care of animals after school would forever be embedded within me. I often hear myself repeating some of these lines to my sons. My sisters and I were brought up with high expectations, and we are yet to fail my parents. Some say we were too privileged. I say we are blessed. My parents did their job and still continue to do so. The pillars we were brought up upon is a reflection of the foundation laid by our parents. Today is probably one of the hardest days, but the last year and a half was the best. I have 35 years of memories that will live on in my heart. I have your face, my sons have your face, and they even have your names too. A face that I will never cease to love. Dad, Roshni, Chini, and myself, we love you very much. Mommy too, probably a little bit more. I remember all that you have offered to my life to make me a better individual. And as you lie here as a body, your soul has ascended, but you will forever be remembered as somebody to everybody. Thank you for everything. And thank you for the strength also, because I really thought I would have cried.
Thank you to my lovely niece, who is supported by the other nieces. I just want to tell you all something. When Bali joined the family, well, for those of you all who came in late, I am his brother-in-law, Sandra's brother. Sometimes I would be at a funeral or a wedding reception, and I will just get a tap on my shoulder. You are required to speak. I said, but nobody told me that. He said, well, I am telling you, you have to speak. And Bali was the speaker prior to that. And for those of you all who don't know, he was requested at most of these events. So he was really and truly, you know, the life of the party. All right, so thank you again, Dana, for that wonderful eulogy. So we're on the home stretch. All right. So funerals have become the common ground for reunions. And while we joke about it, you hear it a lot of times, Boy, lucky for this funeral, we meet. You know, this has become the common ground for reunion. The man or woman lying in the coffin might have been happier if we could have shared moments like this while they were alive. Why do we make time for funerals and not a lifetime for family and friends? Only each of us can answer that. Bali's time have expired and he is gone to be with his maker. Let us fix us, for only us can fix us. Sandra, Ramlakhan and family would like to express heartfelt gratitude in this time of grief. Those who paid house visits, called on the phone while Bali was alive, checking in on the family. All the emotional support after his passing, the daily visits, persons attending the wake, especially those who came every single night. To everyone who contributed towards the refreshments and the persons who assisted in the preparation of those refreshments. And today I would also like to express heartfelt thanks to the many little ones who were here at the wake night, who were, we'll call the servers. Some nice young men and young ladies who were doing the serving. Thank you very much. All the late night card players. Sometimes people think that you all are insignificant and you're just there to keep somebody up. But you know, it's nice sometimes to have traditional things remain, and history can show that these card players, they serve the purpose. And emotional support for the family, you know, just knowing that there are persons around. And I want to acknowledge you all this morning. Navin, Lalu, and the facilitation of the live stream here this morning. Thank you very much, Navin. And Navin, are we switching on another stream for the cremation? The same stream? Okay. Again, to all of you present, the live streamers, and those who came in from abroad, all of Bali's relatives, brothers and sisters, I tried to see if I could get a semblance of how many and how much I could write, and then I just decided I will say brothers and sisters because there are so many. And I know that every single one of you all, somewhere down in your heart, no matter what part of the world that you are, I know your heart is embedded right here this morning with the family, and we just want to tell you all thank you. May God eternally bless and keep you all in good health. And at this point, I'm going to switch back to Pandit Anand Sharma, who will continue with the arati, and he will take the balance of the proceedings here this morning. And I am just extending, when it's time for the final viewing, we are asking persons if we can just make our way quickly around to facilitate time and also to be courteous to the other persons who wish to view the body. So at this time, I'm handing right back over to Pandit Sharma.
Take flowers in one. At this point in time, I would like to say a few words on behalf of this family. It has been 28 years that I have been doing prayers for this family. I started from Aji across the road when her original Baba, Pandit Puna, passed. From then I started to do prayers for many years for for Mama. And then all that time I doing prayers for my sister and uncle Bali. And if I tell you all something, for 28 years I've been the pundit of this family. And for 25 years, I always running late. Anytime I had to do prayers in this house, I always running late. 2 hours late, 3 hours late. Sometimes Randy had to come home and wake me up. So only 3 years now I started to run in time. Instead of them had to wait for me, I had to wait on them. But nevertheless, the love and the affection that Uncle Bali, his children, and his Dharam Patni always shows me is one of a kind. And so, how much time I tell them, I say, well, I get next pundit now. Why will I do get next pundit? To do the prayers. Because I always running late. I always put in data and forget it. But I never disappoint them. At no time. And Uncle Bali and my Didi Sandra is the only two person could call me today for today and ask me that they want a prayers today or for tomorrow. Nobody else had that privilege. And I never gave nobody that privilege besides these two individuals. Always last minute. Today for tomorrow. And I always say, for 28 years since I known this family, especially Uncle Bali and Aunt Sandra, not one day they always show me love. And I will continue showing them the same love that they shows me. I will show them same love. When I told Roshni and Auntie Sandra a few months ago, I say if you make 73, it will not be too long after that. So expect anything after that. Yeah. And so decided to think all how, but I said, don't worry. Everything will be okay. And I stood at the side and I will continue staying at the side. As I mentioned to Roshni and Dina, one day, I said, let everybody drink, eat and marry. After today, no drink, no eat and no marry. Everything take a different course from now on. From today is a different course. It's ritual parts of the soul of the deceased. And so, regardless of what people say about me, in the past, in the present, and they will continue to say all kind of things about me in the future. But nevertheless, this is the man and this is the woman. Never cares what anyone says, or neither the children says anything. Cares what anyone says about me. I will always be the Pandit. So my dear friends, you have to be doing good things, or bad things for people to be talking about you, And more bad things you do is more people will talk about you. So that make you important. Because if I wasn't important, nobody would not say things about me. So I make myself important. I learned as a Sanatanist Hindu. A few years ago, I doing puja right under this house here. And I asked for the flag. And I learned something from Uncle Bali as a Pandit. He said, you're calling this a flag? This is not a flag. Where we call this thing outside flying is a flag, it's not a flag. It's a jandi. He says a flag is square and this is a jandi. And I never yet think about that, calling it a flag, a flag. But what we call as a flag is not a flag, it's a jandi. And Uncle Bali quite right to say a flag is square. I have spent most of my time in prayers with this family, and I want to say to my Didi and her children and grandchildren and two son-in-law is that I will continue being at your side. As Lord Krishna Bhagavan says that, O man, O Arjuna, what dies? We are fortunate to live in a planet which is called Mityulok, a planet that the only planet that have living things living upon this earth. And he says that what born in this earth must die. When a child in this world, when a child is born into this world, the first thing all of we did as a child, we all cry. Why we cry? Because we have come in this world. We don't know what we will face in this world, in this janam, in this lifetime. And today, the same cry that he cried 73 years ago, as Uncle mentioned, Uncle Bali enjoy his life to the fullest. And the same cry, regardless of what he undergo in life, today when all of we, or all of us, in sorrow and in grief, Uncle Bali is smiling. Because we came from God, and one day we'll return back to the Maker, which is Bhagavan. Lord Krishna says, this body is like a cage, and in a cage, there's an Atma or a Jeev is trapped in this cage. And when this Jeev or this Atma leave this physical body of ours, it will merge back with God, with oneness, with the Maker, one day, and it will become Param Atma. Yeah. It will become Param Atma. We are back with oneness with the Maker. And God is going to determine to the life for our next janam. And my friends, at this point in time, there's flowers. All who would like to come and put up flowers, feel free to do so. I would like to call upon the relatives of Bali sisters and brothers, nieces and nephews to come first, and then after everybody come. Pinjere ki panchere tera dard न जाने कोई तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई पिंजरे की पंजरे तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई बाहर से तू खामोश है तू भीतर भीतर रोई रे रो भीतर भीतर रोए तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई पिंजरे की पंजरे रे तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई कह न सके तो अपने कहानी तेरे बेपंछी क्या जिंदगानी रे कह न सके तो अपने कहानी तेरे बेपंछी क्या जिंदगानी रे विदे न तेरे कथाने लेकी आसों में करम कबूर तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई पिंजरे की पंजरे तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई चुप के रोने वाले रखना छिपा के दिल की चाले रे छुप के रोने वाले रखना छिपा के दिल की चाले रे हे पत्थर का वो इश्क पगली कोई न तेरा हो तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई पिंजरे की पंजरे दर्द न जाने कोई तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई पिंजरे की पंजरे रे तेरा दर्द न जाने को तेरा दर्द न जाने को। जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो। जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो। फिर तो ये न के वन वाला हूँ, फिर तो ये न के वन वाला हूँ। फिर तू भी तेरा पार करो। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर रे। पूरन कर के सबकी आशा, जो भी तेरा ध्यान करे हो, जो भी तेरा ध्यान करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। तेरे दर्शन को मैं तरस रहा, तेरा नाम की माला जब तेरा। भव सागर से मोरे नया, चन में जा न किनार हो, चन में जा न किनार हो। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। ओम श्री तत्सत हरि ओम तत्सत।
Sitaram, Namaste, Assalam, good morning to all. Today, in the midst of the mix-up and everything, I not really forgotten my mother, but my mind is out today. My mom's sitting in the middle there, and she's my everything in the world. This morning where Bali is. And she's given me all the consolation. My father is gone, my eldest brother-in-law has gone. And she's keeping saying to me, she said, Mama, you need to be strong. Mama, I don't know how strong I will be, but I promise I will be strong. I want to just sing 2 lines of Bali's favorite bhajan that he will sing. There is one film song, Bali has challenged me, And he said, you know, you think you can sing and your father can sing. And he will come home, and the minute he starts singing the song, Tere Naina, I will sit and I will look at him and I say, that's your song. My father's song is different. My song is different. But there was only there's one bhajan he will sing all the time. If I'm able, and I would like all of you this morning to please join. The words cannot express in my heart for all the people who supported me in the temple, in whatever has taken place here, whether it be a wedding or whatever. I'm standing here not by myself with my own strength, but with the support and the love of all of you. Please join together with me as I will sing Raghupati Gavarajaram. Raghupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavana Sitaram Raghupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavana Sitaram Sitaram Jai Sitaram Raghupati Raghava Rajaram Sitaram Jai Sitaram Raghupati Raghava Rajaram Raghupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavana Sitaram. I know Bali will not be here to say Sitaram to all of you. I will take this, not opportunity or privilege, but I want to say Sitaram to all of you as well. Sitaram to all the pundits, to all the speakers, and to everyone this morning. Sitaram.
Om Narayanaaya Krishnayam Govindaya Namo Namaha Hari Papanataya Govindaya Namoste Om Sri Tatsatomaya Namo Namaha Sri Krishnaya Kamalapati Yarupati Sitapati Vaikunpati Vahimam Sharanagata Vaksa Vaksalam Om Sri Tatsatomaya Namo Namaha Om Sri Krishnaya Namaha Om Sri Tatsat Om Narayanaaya Krishnayam Govindaya Namo Namah Hari Papanataya Govindaya Namoste Sri Krishnaya Kamalapati Yarupati Sitapati Vaikunpati Pahimam Sharanagata Vaksalam Sri Tatsat. Yeah.
His favorite song, okay?
All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. Everybody does pour flowers now because we're running on time. Right?
But just ask those who want to view quickly, let them do it one
At
time.
this point in time, all who would like to take over final view. So as soon as we say closing prayer, we leave in with the body. So there will be no more viewing. So feel free, 5 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, put on my Wallace person. Wala put on Wallace. Final viewing. 2 minutes again. Take the device and throw it inside.
मेरे नैना सावन भादो फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा मेरे नैना सावन भादो फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा ऐ दिल दीवाने खेल है क्या जाने दर्द भरा ये गीत कहाँ से इन्हों
Panagres camera. Connected. Hold up. That's not. Yeah, drop the flap. Yeah, drop the flap. Drop the flap. Drop the flap. Drop it completely, hold it in your hand. Right, use this hand string. Stand up right in now. You can have a wrap up this stuff. Huh? So that's all. Right, but now wrap up the other phone. Yeah, it was recording. With me. Right. Yeah, that's even right.
Everybody at this point in time will stand as we proceed towards the Caroni band.
Stop this string. You cannot.
मेरे नैना सावन भादो फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा मेरे नैना सावन भादो फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा
Yeah.
Please, that humble man is very respectful. And time you see me, all calling me. I would have like Anand, and sure, and I sure.
Om Sri Paramatmaya Devataye Namaha Shanti Om.
If you want to go chip in the corner and go initiate it.
Yeah. Alright. Come. Madam. Om Sprinkle. Om Sri Gangesha Yamuna Chai Godavari Sindhu Saraswati Narvara. Om Kaveri Godavari Namo Namaha. Om Sri Yam Gori Mahagori and Gori Yam Gori Mahagori Antara Jyoti Namo Paramatmaya Jyoti Namo Mama Jivana Jyoti Namo. Om Sri Agni Jyoti Jyoti Namo Namaha. Om Sri Tat Sato Mai Namo Namaha. Say Om. You want to burn? Om Sri Varun Tattva Atma Shanti. Om Pita Nam Kul Pitra Bhavata. Ram Ram Satya Hai. Right. At this point in time, all who want to take a final view of the body, there's clear little spot, and then after we proceed straight to the. And at this point in time, in our midst, we have the Pandit, the resident Pandit of the bamboo. In our midst, we have Pandit Adesh with us, so I call upon Pandit Adesh to come forward to offer a little prayer and to contribute in his own way. Panditji, that's all. Yeah, give him this mic now. I was sent. This clip of the mic.
Sorry?
Clip of the mic, right. Right.
You can leave it.
Leave it.
Sorry.
We concentrate on that divine. Hari Hi Om Tat Sat, Hari Hi Om Tat Sat, Hari Hi Om Tat Sat. Om Gana Nam Tva Ganapatim Gwam Havamahe, Priya Nam Tva Priyapatim Gwam Havamahe, Nidhi Nam Tva Nidhipatim Gwam Havamahe, Vaso Mama, Ahamajani Garbadam, Tomajasi Garbadam. Om Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah, Stuna Vandidabhyaisthavai, Vedaih Sanga Patkadamo Upanishadair, Gayang Tiyang Samagaha. ध्यानावस्थितत्कतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यातं न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवायै तस्मै नमः। बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय, बोले वृंदावन श्री कृष्णचंद्र की जय।
And in our midst again, we have Pandit Suraj. I call upon him to say, Panditji, come this side, so you go.
Om Anadinadhanodeva Shankachakra Garadara Akshay Pundarikaksha Praitamuksha Pradobhava Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachano Ramaritanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagatguru Om Tatsat.
Before we proceed to the chitta, if no one, let her go. Let her go. Huh? One more stop, and the stop is by the chitta. Om Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Om Sri Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Om Sri Paramatma Devataye Namo Namaha. Om Sri Krishnaye Kamalapati Yarupati Sirapati Vaikunpati Pahimam Sharanagata Vaksavaxalam. Om Sri Ye Krishnaye Kamalapati Yarupati. Lakso, Lagde.
Right side.
Om Sri Krishnaye Kamalapati Yarupati Sitapati Vaikunpati Pahimam Sharanagata Vaksavaxalam Sri Tatsato Aye Namo Namaha. Om Sri Krishnaye Kamalaye. No. Yeah. Sri Krishna. Turn. Right. Now, come. Take your time.
Ask everybody to give way alone space now. Ask them they could walk one side. So they could
Alright. Everybody could come behind so they could walk freely. Come. Come. Come.
Where's Sammy? Sammy.
Look. Om Sri Ganga Yamuna Avadi Sindhu Saraswati Nadvara Kaveri Godavari. Om Sri Tatsato Mai Namo. Om He Krishnaye Kamalapati Yarupati Sitapati Vaikunpati Pahimam Sharanagata Vaksavaxalam. Say Om Sri Agni Tattva Atma Shanti. Om Pita Nam Kul Pitra Bhavata Atma Shanti. Alright, these 5 steps that we make, that according to we born under 5 elements, right? The 5 elements is governed into this body, and each step we make it merging back with one of the element that we born to. So now the last element is fire, and the body is generate heat. So that is one of the element too. So now we make that 5 steps. Each step, each element merge back with oneness with God. Right? So now we go to dispose of the body, that which have no purpose now. After 5 minutes from now, is that this body will not be seen, but it will always be remembered. As long as we live, the name of your father will always live on. he not be good to be seen any longer. So now, that's why Krishna says the body of itself will become no use. It have no value. While it was alive, it was valuable. Now it have no value. So we disposing of the body as we see it fit. So now let the fella do his work. All his flowers and everything that we give to him, it going with him. They have nobody saying to take it out or leave it. We leave in everything. Right? So the man to do his honors. Any assistant, yeah. Thank you, boy. Yeah.
Time to get a new one.
Yeah. Right.
Next slide. That's the one they were talking about. Yeah. I think I'll explore it.
Next one. I want to switch you on that one. Yeah.
This is give one of them towel anything.
Take all that time, right?
Yeah. You know, a bit of feel.
That's right.
Hmm? All right. I'll just straight out that. Right?
Yeah.
Behind you have two. Yeah. Oh, no, no, no. How long from now did you organize the movie?
No long weekend since last night. But guys, but it will come back. Even I want to come here, so before we lose, so please make sure we hear. Yeah. Power. Sit down, Baba.
Sit down. Hmm? Yeah.
Yeah, every day is when and white you wear in summer. Next Sunday my bad to wear in summer. Yeah, yeah, man.
No, he's floor.
I show
This is just a... Right, I have it. 10. Right, Bell. 10. You want me sometime, boy? Come again. Go on. Yeah, just now. Come again, let's sing. Alright, good. How are you doing?
Alright, wash the hand. Come. Come. Yeah, you take it out. You lota.
Right behind you. Right here.
Right, right.
Okay, you stand.
Laila.
Sammy could come too. All over here. Randy, can I just walk with you?
Turn on the light on the first inside.
Randy. Huh?
When I catch word.
Let's go down the space.
Right. So. Om Sarva Paparang Dibyam Gangeyang Dalmalanamachmanam Chamayadipyam Gretam Purushotamaha Om Ityachmanyam. Alright, mix up everything. Om Sri Tat Sat. When I say Swadha, offer and say Swadha, right? Om Sri Armanam Petraye Namo Namah Swadha. Now, so. Devatas are so, Petras are so. Om Sri Aravanam Pitraye Namaha Swadha. Om Sri Adi Pitraye Namo Namaha Swadha. Sri Adi Pitraye Namaha Swadha. Sri Agni Tattvaye Namo Namaha Swadha. Om Sri Madhya Pitraye Namo Namaha Swadha. Om Sri Adya Pitraye Namo Namaha Swadha. Sri Agni Jyoti Jyoti Namo Namaha Swadha. Om Idam Jyoti Namo Namaha Swadha. Om Sri Akash Tattvaye Namaha Swadha. Sri Varun Tattvaye Namo Namaha Swadha. Sri Akash Tattvaye Namo Namaha Swadha. Om Sri Jal Tattvaye Namo Namaha Swadha. Om Sri Madhya Pitraye Namaha Swadha. Sri Pancha Tattvaye Namaha Swadha. Faranim. Om Sri Pitanam Pitraye Namaha Swadha. Sri Pitanam Pitraye Namaha Swadha. Sri Pitanam Pitraye Namaha Swadha. Om Sri Pitanam Pitraye Namaha Swadha. Sri Pitanam Pitraye Namaha Swadha. Om Sri Agni Jyoti Jyoti Swadha. Agni Jyoti Jyoti Namaha Swadha. Agni Jyoti Jyoti Namaha Swadha. Sri Pancha Tattvaye Namaha Swadha. Sarva Kul Tattvaye Namaha Swadha. Empty. Om Sri Tat Sat. Full यहाँ लगा कप. Pass it along the fire. Drop it so. Om Sri Vayu Tattva. Akash Tattva. Jal Tattva. Prithvi Tattva. Om Sri Agni Tattva. Om Sri Pancha Tattva Namaha. Wash your hand. Take the cloth and wipe your hand. Right. Right. You're going to shift it 10 and it have 5 only, right? Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Strong man.
Oh.
You want to let it then?
Right.
Yeah, ready. Well, let's.
Eh? All right. Yeah, Uncle lalu. Với Uncle lalu đi. All right. Okay.
Every day out at the we go light the fire today.
Eh?
Today our reason to light the fire.
Yeah.
Just now. Oh, you.
The 5 of them. 1, 2. Right.
Like this way.
Oh.
This way. Roshni, you have to lead in front. Yeah. Right.
I don't think you can do that for a fire too high.
Yeah, hey, yes, only play man when you more. Hold it so. I'll go show you how to hold it, right?
Oh, they have a myself.
Krishna Guru. Om Sri Krishna Kamalapati Yarupati Sitapati Vaikunpati Pahimam Sharanagata Vaksa Vaksalam. One more. Om Sri Krishna Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Kamalapati Yarupati Sitapati Vaikunpati Pahimam Sharanagata. 5? Right, 4? 5. Right. Touch it a little bit. Right. Send it in. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Touch it. Right. Send it in. Right. Take all the ring from all your finger now.
Rashan.
Come.
Rashan, your ring from me.
You drop out. Wait. He disappear.
Listen, let me just do it.
Yeah. Close and pray that final
Go in the open
rites in this part of this ceremony is that pray in the name of Lord Krishna, ask Lord Krishna, the same way that we come in this world is the same way that we are to return one day. And these final moments and the time have reached. Om Sri Tat Sat Hari Om Tat Sat Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Papuham Papa Karma Ham Papa Va Sambhava. Om Trahi Mam Pundarikakshe Sarva Papa Haru Hare. Om Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Cha Saka Tvameva Tvameva Vidyadra Bidang Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Atma Shanti Atma Shanti Atma Shanti. Alright. Put your hand there. Call the father name and let's stop. Om Sri Pitanam Pitra. Pitanam Pitra. Right. Om Pitanam Pitra. Pitanam Pitra. Pitanam Pitra. Om Pitanam Pitra. Pitanam Pitra. Pitanam Pitra. Come. Sinana. Sinana. Nana Nam Pitra. Nana Nam Pitra. Nana Nam Pitra. Right. Come. Sinana, right? Nana Nam Pitra. Na. Come. Nana Nam Pitra. Nana Nam Pitra. Nana Nam Pitra. Right. Right. Touch ego. Ram Ram Satya hai. Sri Satya Gati hai. Right, this is your lota. Right.
आहा